2024. And time just about approaching 30 minutes past 1. And if you had that Sanabo Sumena, you mean need that a tosso aduno ensia, edunsia, a fee impino, aduno and nine. Na me man teach you my dear and a day bremo. Me man teach you my dear day bremo, me a medium watching me from me. Daka brema mudu osioma. Na we are co-character. Me kwajuda me. Say exercising the voice, and then in anticipation, say will be relief of challenges, and in we chicha kakra, and you kwajuda me ado ebetnasi. Na ye did ya komo. Na over Sema Jerry, and so no to the normal. Answer and why you make free so dear or recuperate. Na yemfase da so emfama abna frema abankro one nana ya asafo abna frema abankro ne nana ya asafo technical production is omo na so omo na ehwe ama social media handles nyina no yetimi interact with your listener inti abna frema aseda ho nana ya asafo aseda ansa na engineering team no so no achu agbo worker but yakwa na jare na boaje na da sankroma da nyine sanemrane se sempro na fe ye de aseda so e de ama engineer facilities group no big solo ena dada ena Godfred your friend Ubrana Mapuna yaw Sami na fe no DJ Bosco na Melson so yasanmrane se tetai enne ensemu a edaba maso a ye bedwendwene ye ho no say upcoming wiki na the new patriotic party MPP, the party in government one one manifesto ebedadi na nipa 319 no omo handiwork no ye hunu se de besi afa ebekro. The following week, and the largest opposition party, National Democratic Congress, NDC, one in Sosono, Ekoda Omo Manifesto no Eddie. MPP for us one more koyomo dear or Takrade, and NDC for us one koyomo dear or Cape Coast, into coastal belt, coastal line, and Omina. Now, no brother. And Alan John Kojochira Matini, founder, leader, movement for change, or also no, the great transformational plan, a departure from the usual promises-laden manifesto to practical solutions and plans. What the Ebibumano, or also a cocoto, a media encounter. Now, what the kind of academics at the University of Ghana, Asia, and on the media, so Asia, and civil society organizations, also, or no Mushia. Now, so what considered the Southern Belt, so now on the media encounter in the Southern Belt, and the various academics in the Southern Belt. Now, on a great transformation plan, the opportunity. Now, on Perusu, now question be a normal to me at the Aba. And she said, oh, no. Sabik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party, MPP, Obeba. Ayawaso West Wogan, chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Bismarck Aite Abobi, Obeba. And a policy advisor, Ebo Backman, for Movement for Change, or not so Obeba. Penny Bread, working voice in the na yenhwe se de esi etie se de be se akọ na chicha kakra interview ba ko mienu bi so ewo ho Daily Guide or say Attorney General fires up Bono for MPP. The Attorney General Godfrey Yabu and the motorcycles akoma Bono MPP executives Attorney General de Abendana.
Ana ebia political season ti. Also with Simbi. And says Abaniko position on so be losing job.
Sir.
Say I can see us in Egu.
Na Attorney General de Yana was Yana the other role as the Minister for Justice.
Yes.
Yana on tie and my forefront partisan politics.
Yes, and can you say but
the role as a Minister for Justice.
Yeah, and I say we're to the SUB so.
I'm here.
Yes, a wow, Kojinamusa.
And the Bruno for no my idea. Godfrey Dame, Attorney General, Bruno, Yabuatria, one also Deputy Attorney General.
Regini, na say constituency be.
There be what the ma regional executives, and I come on Mutu.
We will be here now. That will be pre MP.
We flat Attorney General be MP.
Nasa say,
oh dear. Hey, Sir Attorney General. Names the Yana just have Tombo as a church Attorney General for Abany now. So your MP that and what Attorney General a different. Ubi to say a Joe Gatti.
Yes.
MP Attorney General. Right?
Yes.
Ubi to say Faswala. Papa Usuankuma.
Yes.
And I'd rather Papa Usuankuma.
Yes, Papa.
I'm a Attorney General MP.
Yeah.
So no. Na
Nanado.
President of the Republic, yes. MP, and Attorney General,
yes.
Right? And Utu, now onye MP.
But also Okopre.
Okopre MP,
Ninsaka,
Crow. So, now, what the Attorney General read Okopre MP? Sir, I'm saying the Attorney General read and Kakuanim.
Say, what by this is, what the Attorney General crowd, you still not be relevant. And I didn't know, son.
It's a young one.
And young one, tell Miss Abia was starting pushing your alcohol, but in future, in the near future.
And let us walk cooperate.
Near Miss oh,
I said, in the event, said Dr. Mahmoud about me, Alaji, a winning, a presenter. So, Besari, I consider a government.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because
it's that time, no. I think that 2028 na walk up MP at the anokwe day.
Oh, ni biasa. And be to me.
And the politics no am no better.
Na wa wo fase Samioku. So no so
Bema wadam mama akoma enan.
Oh sa ni nuanom.
Wo ye ka akire na echese odi e man na yachi.
Wow.
Wow. Samuel Oku.
Oh fine.
Well, they be fine. And also so awo e man me ensa na wawo bema ba ko. Wayade. Sa
on bi nka ho.
Hey.
And the hu hia.
Babra Oku.
On bi nka ho.
Babra Oku.
Na wani ye na wo ni ma na se na ni na
Ejaya na said the university intimate say Babra Oku de back as of no. Go you go round to the ben no pra otimi kasai. No radio. Ono radio and say I could teacher neighbor.
Me ben when you call 2014. You call Tamalino.
Tamalino.
Come up pay youth organizer no.
April 2014.
Yes. Youth organizer no. That na me ben.
Kamrauku. Oh. Hey.
No besides say.
Besides say.
We are sure say me wini.
We are just.
So grounds yes.
I brand you.
Okay. Tamale mosque. The down home be say.
Kamrauku. Yeah, no, on accident, you know, fan concoma, I take father. Who's saying politics is no, will be to me propello.
Yeah,
let's say any panel, and Conenim Cassy. Now, what best no coenim? Because Atifa, Atifa dance so. Was a no need ambushing and enam.
Yes,
no more J. A office be or Kandaha. In the Atifa, dear, it is that time and on Necasla next. Oh, Papa is also no work. The master will kiss me abonid. I not text messages near day. I could like it 20 me church messages near day and it be a Joseph Krubunina and I got out here. Not Samuel Kumpekasa. It's a Tifa dance so and a day come now Kuma Kufidia. Emma Kofi do ade ne ba ye Subiku Road Farah Avenue what FM o kasa nyina na nisi fom
and then there were master pa
master pa and I'm so come out ni say boninti o goes into guessings there be na shanks mu no horo boninti the seniors be punishing us anyway kwabra ogu na menka ho ade is a great gentleman.
Yes.
Now our future so in the new patriotic party. Say then na lawyer Duamankwa satam kufudu ya lawyer Duamankwa ubieni no. Na kwa kitwa ne suma no. Ene ade na kwada oni timi ekoko friend na girlfriend friend.
Is also a lawyer.
Anya kwabra okususu na kwada usua na una utimi ko friend na girlfriend no.
Say training ni bia na lawyer. Nso we nja nso be lawyer.
Ana otumi ko friend na girlfriend no. Na kwabra okususu say won fa ni agro. Aya de.
Training bi o ho e bo nipa.
Training bi o ho e bo nipa. Uhunu se de ubesi
atofo. Unya experience to unya then you come to understand say okay no say ni say yeah come okay say so you appreciate it immediately
na chesenya na no nko aso na ede
dabi so e bema
kwabra oku
e bema
dabi enti waya ade enti gofreda me eboa yehwe how it goes yehwe how it goes na at least no omo wa hwe
obi na nasam de obi dem
so obi nunu apeti
obi bibiate then daily guide chrono asoso no also can say was a fast track resolution of customers concern crapper and Authority Electricity Company of Ghana so kind of studio here
me crapper asem na be kan
na my friend ka say me so onim number
yeah na say asetra na ma atiye ma refri na say adwuma no so dɔɔso a
yes wo nnwuma dɔɔso a wo ye ni nyina what you say e na omo a wo ne omo hya ase no so at least
also to me
what you say say otumi kai bi men da wo chi kura say wodu pempensu bi ntino de won kai omo a na wo ne omo ofro no papa ma af no ka say lucky to be o say omo a wo fro staircase na wo hia omo no omo aso na obehia time a wo descend
no so sanfroko
yes meaning the table
can 10
yes
brother Herbert one also abranti we de no pay kasada na ya na ubebusa say na oye president of the republic na do danko akufado no ye the favorite boy no ye the favorite boy na sa atwedi aye fro na yesen sane no na wo hwe de ye ya afi na onye president no favorite boy biom challenges ba ye that time na so na maye ye no mutie maye no mutie that time na so no ba no so betete wo but also he stood his ground akwa kusua de akole pass a lawyer don't so no free ho no ansa na Kabila ye asanso boache be ye close to ye president of the republic
I'm so no crowd ho ansa na Eugene
say Eugene is no Herbert and no ye president Baprekope
yes
Herbert na bibia and na Hamid so Herbert no na one or two incidents be and a man Herbert no call actually that time no call actually na obeka say loss of favor and a man asenso e ban anim so and Herbert no unperturbed na odi bibia to na chire and no focus on so be sua de and okuku sua de so na the political godfather ne de nana yaw woda ho ne ni wo you say Herbert is a wura mu bi mu no and na oba ne say government spokesperson
yes
and na odin staff de of course okuku sua trade so ho no African Continental Free Trade ho no ma no a yenu say dachi bi ho na no ma wo okuku sua trade ne ne ade and na fe de ba say energy no Kofi Poku Prempe free energy what the we trusted hand and so on. The trusted hand and just why they Herbert as I climb ladder no.
Okay.
But in all this no or not so Americans Kwabre Ukudia no. That branch is from the Uti region no. And so award the capacity.
Yeah.
So idea Sami be beat near Sami Stitcher.
Good.
As I Kwabre Ukujina or Ubusi or Brane and we near diminutive. As I said,
Sami so clout na no
Herbert is a very sharp boy. Herbert, yeah. It Emranti Nkumankuma no how they use and to announce once I was falling from favor and I was rising. Yeah. It remains to be seen. Said they will be see a conductor no. In the ECG, if what's my worker no, this worker. So because ECG has to become humane. So say be being normally would delay and ECG adwuma no so eso. Until once the ECG for betimi ama number the contact engineer for the ubefra obi amfa. Tom betimi abro notice of access. Notice of access say ye pese ba woni yensa nkan fresh group we na ya range down. Obi o has na my workers omont na fie until na bia ECG for person gain access to the property. E bi kura na meter but person ko ye hu bibi. Betimi the number amount so ye buy ya meto. Now within specified period, they say, Frey, Albert will be a grand few. So, no. Until see, no more ye be so say, would no more delay, especially national task force, almost also share illegalities, consumption, irregularities near the no. There are some young men, you see, you have far warmer. Okay. They are also coming up, say, no, a delay. Assisting you into compliance. Sana nka say adwuma bi aye. So because nipa ne bebre no enim said monhwehwe yesitie.
Enim home offices. Akasa wo ko.
Until obi say ECG say no all legislative instruments are or the ye no ma bebre even grants and be supply with power no. Say electricals no enye certified electrician na ECG na certified no. Say nipa ne need to me say otimi be ye ware ma. It is a ECG for Banum who say, Nipa no be a warren man on your certified the grana, young supply power. Was almost supply power named Franco and the Chilanku Jabia Kotum. Now, more dear. Omudiso. Omojumaneson. So, until that aspect of say, Omu Church, Omojumamu, customer service for a church or Zeno, and no, and a Herbert Crapper, a come once I'm saying. Don't say, I was say, ECG for a form.
Said Nipa na union bile and the girl who ton ade so am. The custom they say at least wo gije so kra kakra. Untumi ye ne ha. Ba wo kosa wo ko ECG sisi a. Ha o wan yasem ketwa.
Ha na wo nyina na kire say. I say wo madwuma no mo na eye without them wo ho be kire. So obi wo mo aboko bi ne mi what in the card ne kire meter no intimi ma now we are back but nante the abaho near man the telephone number the call yes be the update but if I call kire friend say meter no now the kire meter no a na say margin number we so hu no na o friend number no we will say to because no be na number so we fra o for 2 days ni pa ni de so the way issue I was a persistent
na me kra just nansen new meters your model boy new meters no more model boy no more change old ones omo de bebo a se wo ebia definitely den credit kakra wo de no so ansa na ye betu na de foforo na bo no mo de bo a no mo de ebi me mom 30 cedis ebi so mom 50 na sa we ne omo de be ma wo no wo kwa akoto credit a na ya tie frim
sa
meanwhile wo ye betu meter no ne credit wo so de da
oni yetuko
no mo de 30 na 50 atoso ba wo kwa akoto credit a
ni asa ati na je say wo de yafa in effect no be ka so mawia
omawia no sa because ntiase anim say me de bi wo so na wo de bi ama me a anka wo de anka me de ne ameka kraisa aka wo hwe say bi a dodo a wo de no so no
kra no yetumi calibrate
na ke yare fa ma
teni nyina na ye operations no you say na private entity
ufa ni boy ekosi fish pond echo petroleum estate num e de call La Paz area Tabora almost sa ho pa nkrofo kam de wo ho no
I just say yeah fa omu sika 1 meter no so
yes na de bia to so ama ba kwa
do they have access to obi a obetimi advice omo how to recover
obi to even complain to wo dey say asante wo kwa kotobi
to kwa na che so
na vendor na ka che say
ya tu sika bi outstanding amount bi how it is a we are dissatisfied with almost action no taking no a unya ba bia
da bi uko ECG o say almost yom no almost 6 meters no
na why na supply power no and na why na so de ne car what is ga no enye do supply power na ka sa it we mu nyina na operations so for instance say private entity is a mobile telephone telecommunication network MTN share millions of nkrofo a ono mu deal
yes.
Are we not talking almost 20 million?
Yeah, Ghana Hankwampo is
Ghana Hankwampo almost 20 million.
Yes.
Now, she say ECG so supply power ma any part of those saying. And 20 million. How? She numbers no. Say nipa do kuta mobile phone no. E do so sene nipa do a use electricity.
Samo. Because it's the other way around.
Every household
no
every household back na
okay one family okay
so you realize say MTN no has more database no eso sene ECG
it's true
but there bit me aba say you send money wrongly agokra menka bi nhemu wa go free there for yada and na make us send a year 500 cedis amano. And now, minimum they have come here. Genuine mistake. It ni 290 no. Na me 295. Na asan ba biem confirm number no. Ma asan bo 295 ni biem.
Wow.
Be a nya sa na right number no. And then a wrong number
me to born 2 times.
And also transfer sika to edin say.
Man no. Oh. So what you mean say number no born correct?
Oh, when I was a ball pin, lenko. Oh, to be ball pin in ye, no. And so I'm to be shade, you know.
Okay.
The beatrice is saying, I'm saying, I'm the beatrice saying in the hand.
What did the
where the aqua may yam who she in ye, if you mistake my way, say you.
Oh,
and son, I'm so 100.
MTN.
And maybe I know where MTN for my
okay.
Angie.
Yeah.
And also da. Nadia Swassa. No, say da. Yes, I did bet you I'm a question myself.
Maybe you
do the daily 100. To me, daily 100, no. And the call, yeah, maybe one, to go process me, then you go to a time, them say 5.
No person.
Good evening. My name is Tracy, representing MTN. How may I help you, please? I'm so pleased, Tracy. I have mistakenly sent this amount to this person. I said, can you tell me what number you sent the money to them? So I couldn't even recall because I did it on the spare. Okay, tell me. He asked me a question and said, "Would me identify a number?"
Okay.
So no. Okay. Give me some few minutes. I'm going to report and then revert within seconds. As I've reported. And the number has been suspended. In between 4 to 15 days, we will reverse your. So I'm like, now what do you mean? I'm past so and this says 2 seconds. Now message number yellow. Say you're suspended. Sika you come out. Then the cover say me who says I go 295 instead of 290.
Okay.
So no. And it's the person can say MTN one more numbers no. Now, what me use technology? It me the resolve challenges are ever. Na ECG, our lesser numbers. Na yintimi deploy technology say in the event say me face challenges with almost setup, almost operations are. Yintimi nyina phone so and resolve for mine because you were amama bebre UK and nano unya baby nko say me kwa to credit. Unya baby nko say me nya fault. You deal with everything on telephone. It is a technology na ye dey no. Digitization area no bedu stage bin unhia nipa no akobusa no bibia digital no ana say wo de ye adwuma na ECG how I wouldn't want to use the other word. I want to say, how ready are they to face the digital environment?
Era na ebam.
Thank you for that is from so no.
Omubo summit a make kro omubo wie. Bebre kra de na active. Omo activate mom. Nti se o credit ne sa, no se o koto credit a. Nso ya another matter. Untumi nto. Ma me bi wo me fie wa dem 3 days.
Eno this room. Then the query na wo mu kakra.
Yeah, nti ni ti kra yi.
Ni ti kra yi. Na mu bia na na aduane bi hye fridge me say de maba we ya mo ye aduane hye fridge me ya.
Niti ati.
Kutie nim ni wura. Kutie nim ni wura. Enti we mu nyina no. Herbert Crapper has done well. At least why baby because there are other jurisdictions that they actually give you a charter. A charter says ofre e be a ECG. Ofre wo mo a and says a boom 1 2 3 95% of the time no I was so obi fa.
Wow.
It is a obi am fa. There would have been a breach of their own charter.
Wow.
Yes. So yes about court because customers because was a fast track resolution of customers concern.
Yes. This new meters here na ma odi abano.
So no.
Issues a day ban.
Issues a day ban. But the more backup in resolution of such concerns ana. So more backup in resolution of such concerns ana. So and na dear ba konso ya na tatia wo mo tatia Ghanaian organizations and say obi aye adwuma ohono a but for political reasons know there be a kokofa obi fra bontene na ya be impose on them.
Okay.
But obi aye adwuma over 20 years or gaining all the necessary experience. As bon ni akwa obi say odim say ayi testing officer for any immigration adwuma nyina kanena ke process for na nyina the bia na ke immigration controller or a process ni na yemfa ma aye immigration force career immigration official yemfa man ye nei na Elizabeth J immigration the Elizabeth Chiri no na presently so no aye lawyer Kwamtechi.
Okay.
So no enti mo say ye the process ni na ye de na kwa akotena aye bia embassy no akwa minister counselor in charge of immigration Ghana High Commission London and now Ghana Embassy UK. Ti ye de ne ba ni ye nya ba bi mfa ne nhye wo process mu a na ye de na ba betena immigration. Aso anya immigration so adwuma.
Okay.
Enipa so aye adwuma immigration ho. And now immigration.
Come bet me arise
to that level and no do immigration a me nua aye mod kwenu. Me nua. While rise it through the ranks. And I'm not going to edit to come to ya so no. Ubi so kasawa. Come to ya so that I'm not is akumono. Come to so rise through the ranks. That I'm lawyer kwentemu. Enti omkwane duru ho no mo a na politically ne ya fobi every police that na ba be show. Ya de me papa and so supoku krede ne ko. Enti sa de no ayeye no obi say Dubik Mahama.
Yeah.
Suddenly, politically, ni akofa na yede naba. Miami nua Ajimabudu. Na yede naba. Ajimabudu na no ofe but di nti utu akwa na nim say wadru statutory retirement age.
Wow.
No, and ekọ isu akọbọ doctorate or USA. Why kama. Enti enti na ya na yentimi develop career path. Na da bi ekọkọfo obi na yede naba.
Bebe twa omu ina.
Iti Herbert Kasa Odika, I was saying ECG for no.
Yes.
Omutimi nya the backup. Say MTN to me ye. Say Telecel to me ye. Say AT&T for omo aka ko efre ye saying.
Etetigo.
Ebe ye wo. Say me bubu din na men kai bi. You know na ya.
Na poase na
odile. Ko fi na point no that dey we no. Because me get 1% kan bo mu nyina din in all fairness. It's MTN and a Telecel and a Etetigo and one no. I mean, some oh sir, it's problem. It's a good call. Now you said the obese afar. Coffee busumpem. Name say. Name mame me money mame edi and mother na mame nim
tema west ana
there be ya asafo mafo
okay
and the back of people some pem
ono da ha kese
nkwala mo ofia no mo wo guy name mo de from maame maame nenim e na me na mbabeka.
Wow.
Aussie Chronicle, Snit's dramatic turnover shocks PAC. It didn't almost say, bouncing back. It was a Snit adverse, saying, a media reportage about hotels and some organized labor. At the core almost so a Japadi so book is on some I can't find coffee on a quiet fast so I think crack coffee, a tin cry in Aja, what can I know to more as also me and no being any day. Any other, you see at the Abba and say, media for ya there for Yana, a Jabasa just a finna, much more you must sorry. The villagers away coffee, Nankanya Samanka.
Go, pram. I was shocked. Because me rai on copy ho. Na me ko be me wifi din no nti omo kire me kwa ba me na manam kopie ho no ese mayira na chese wo hwe aden omo dwire gu ho a ni ngo prampram constituency de bia mso menti se omo kra mu bia boso kra da se bibisa kra akoso ho no nso udu ho a
each one for himself bisa
God for us
all nti so omo nsheda
they were form because we share even education so cry na omoya and so anya asem kuma nso bi copy bi so wa wona na Gideon ko adisco no
and ma we copy ho
yes
so every say uduru anyina mu mpo a so no uduru anyina mu a na ko enyiresi a uduru enyiresi ufrin kran ko no enyiresi bend mu wono mu a we kwese no on your immediate left agenda 111 on my hospital say come on so somebody currency was say agenda 111 I be not say my abna from it do they assume say people would know ana
I'm so imagine say nkofo no more that enclave no who say sa na ekoso nti no ye nche den ye hu dede wo you can say the whole Ghana but at least wo bo hu de obi otu constituency power but onim say sa project na ekoso ho bebre na amfa ho ono baby otu na osoro ko na fuom se teacher ni so osoro ko no school akoche na de aba nti de wo bo hu de ru kakra ebeboa since I say obi I keep him mute so one frɛ you can say me and my papa in Siansare doka ono tumi frɛ no tumi
na omo access to the information because nanka omo projects bureau na mo projects bureau there na sa projects bureau no omo ntimi any data omo communicators ebetimi aka
communicators in their doubt na make us in Siansare who friends is your bema bibia
now was it at that high level since Siansare
no and I make us say no because Siansare no share presidency nti mu locality na ade ne koso ho no ade na mu nso mu hu
bia yi constituency bia na I was so mutimi ka
yes
de
koso ho and this are no pay your friend Western Regional Minister Oche Dakumensa
Kobi
yes
and mommy son
aha mommy son it say trimi and the power
trimi and ne mama hotel no say hotel no so mama and a young boy and then
wow and the regional minister happy no
asande regional
MP
MP Kobi ne trimi and the papa
wow
mapo osa ankoso abibi beto so because tie
enti onu say no pay friend just a project o kase o ma ye no acquiring from
the constituency chairman for no hoye dey
Nedesia, my friend by me, I na omo busy
say ye ba omo ho nti
e good
because nkomu timi aye ne say constituency executives no mo na ye mo said because bibie ne we ba constituency wa constituency executives
enim na bi
and more research constituency research officer and more constituency communications person
yes
so it is microphone me no kan mo tribo mu a e die na e koso constituency wa omuntimi me offer asante achim central eye opofi kofi fusun kansa usually be hunu say na o chro semini bi
yeah on the oyade very active
o chro semini bi now they ba na bishop so on the we defender and just wa on nkwan say do spelling rubbish so hunu it is two gentlemen no Covignacon and Fusun cancer. Unse, omo more active in putting up information about. But Ubusa say regional team no way, constituency team no way. Because can you imagine say driver knee comes up to me and rapper no ka. Hey, Mapa, Rose the MPP from why be pow. Nam say dem bia. Why be Synconia Michelle, Synconia. No catch him to my rose. Nam say any 10 seconds now not that one so about. Yeah, omunye hute. The omunye hute no. I know didn't say your car so my be pa no.
Say you no bobo hu deru.
And you never won the oh, sir. Because
party ni wo ho no omo hu deru a. On the oye den. Si party na say omo yirim said no. Ya ye 1 2 3. Ti say ma oman ni hu say.
Because Bogatanga
Hospital
yeah, Upper East Regional Hospital. Now $52 million and your committee to refurbish it. And nicely done. Na present akwe. Na Bogat other hospitals are John Dramani Mahama yen. Eni nyumunumu.
Where also a woman?
Mimi say we also a woman. Who committee $52 million US dollars. Akoshe sai me. Enye nyum. Ba Mahama so ye yen. Eya nyum.
Yes.
It ye na ye de nyum ni ti so sesi ana. No ma Mahama ye nyina no.
Ebo wompa. Wow,
so dia na so ye no.
KJT market. E woni na wonyum no.
Esa.
Kotokraba market.
Bebo ma
circle interchange.
Because go why your police station where the way at 37 ha.
Yes.
What me yi as nipa free I process for France as where the type of a day I go to say my pro. Enyum biam.
Dabi.
Pascal Brantier went
one farm
2020 na do beba 2020 just a bit the boss anyum no mamintie ade a NDC for say Mahama ye
yes mebo ni
bebo pass no bebo na wo mo so nti wan betimi de atwa anyuma mo
chise omo ehwe kechire abobi amaba omia
Pascal ade na wo nyum no
we sa project bi anim
kechire at Central Region be bi no wa ko gina radio say ai enye no kre say ejapade book eno no obi betie die wo ma ye no fato nyum ye
that's all money champo.
Money champo.
Yes. Who
also who. Just when you akwasi agbaje me contract kwa.
No. You can say
great ampon.
You dey. Look daso bo ho.
Kojofusu.
Yes.
Because
projects are more no and I okay. Police dey here ahanko atomic dey no so.
Atomic dey no so. So I just say process is crana process die no. Hwe aye 37 ho no. Asase ni nyina wo matimi ayi process for the free so akosi dan no dey ama wo mo ye this asase no ebe development as an extension of the airport city project.
Okay.
So no hwe ayi asalam haya psychiatric hospital hwe die ne ba ya a champion kwa ye pantan asase a champion je ye for pantan so no asase no ye nyusu mu kota o asase a champion je ye for pantan ye nyusu mu kota na we aye pantan ya say asalam no aye over 100 years enti adan na wontimi mpe private developer emo no nkonko sie pantan homa mu na mo so mo mfa aye pan aye asalam ha ema no na che say ni nyina na your friend urban regeneration na enkra no kura no o regenerate because na dan on be sie on manya enura dan
dabi
strong na ni nyina wo ya na wo se won ka na hwan na de beto nyum no
say wa I don't know any at times go more expect say yen journalists no show host for yen yenka
I say wo wadwuma na ye miensa I was say wo na wo inform
yes
of what has happened and wo educate
okay
and wo buakura me yenya preferences so be episode tia asem na se a also timi can say MPP can say NDC can say movement for change MPP but ya na yen tagging na wo mu no ubie wa no a wo kan ya no ya ka say we but what said the say can okure wo mu to your understanding but to your understanding research it
never fact ne bra
intwantro
da be imagination
it may can we would the castle the ACTA. So no. It will castle the city na better because sir a boga Bogatanga Hospital no any mama nyumu
no. I'm say wom.
And Nanado so $52 million. It how do we know dear Nanaka face Ben Nanaka a year president Nanado so the Abeka win. A year said yes, you're researching. I can no crane woman no at the actual of my man.
Because me say even UGMC. Crown president mama a commission no. Ono apo kai say Saturday ato abewi. Nti oka say president Kufado na so call risk na oye ten. Nti onu kwa kan yo which mobile moye
enso
obi anti
kwakwaji mama enu signature na daso nti ni nyina mu no kwan na wo se obone dawuro ma wo mo
na me ka se omo ankasa eso omo compile
omo kwa en manifesto no
Sunday e be chinechi na Friday
na Friday a activity bay announce wasum e de na wote publicly FM program no ho
wonte hwe
enipa 319 so
no mo ya mo tina se so mo cho manifesto
de wono nko agi abodo no so no kokko chire mu chira nkrofo a no da ho kan lanchire maten asem
we
minua no ntibika wo kokko chire mu manifesto na mo koye no so a enen paper no way shutdown daily dispatch Alanke engage in exercise in futility or say mensa bozo so na manifesto is na so kwasiada na mokoye manifesto
ono ye manifesto what chama
me bebu sam ko your manifesto hu adwuma hwede wo de nenam it is not too late that you maintain be san ba
and I friend okawa
emi efa wo ho
ni pay your
ye yinu a ontimi inform government eye den na constitution ebaka so bi ntimi inform government so constitution abema kwa say
independent candidate
I don't concentrate on manifesto
e bia manifesto no omo mfa mbetu dwenti omo mpese ombe efiase a cheche nti Sunday
sensitize man crofo kra adwene enko ho
say bi sample ba aha no de and there is true says sanka omo hu do
obi edene manifesto ba 24th no wadi ka akoye youth manifesto
yes men no e trendy
no air trendy
yes
etimi use youth manifesto no akoka na say yen so ayeto abayi wo oman we say mo no 17 million persons omudin say what register mo no emu 10 million between 18 and 35
youth no
it is a group no other na won't focus on them that group no other na won't focus on them identity yentimi nya various political actors and cause a group of a year 10 million out of 17 million voters and we 18 to 35 no de be ya mu nie ama sa group no yen so yen tena ha na yen kan kire wo say de we so be ye nie na ya say na oya e be kwa kosie say na oya obekwa akosie ana ne yentimi nya ne sa
esi etumi ye
na aye sloganeering na otu ono mu a Alanke engage in exercise in futility aba na no kwadom koduru ayejoka da yiase a we ni sika de be corona afa mo
nse no kranka wo na we opposition to that person ko bo say ana yesa nka wo jubilate say nipa ko nyi sika ye campaign nipa no kra ade oye ne kenken kwa na wo jubilate
na ko jubilate as a Kwabena Bua statement on Facebook Live was say someone has done free senior high school and Saturday is going to announce free university education. You also there talking about level 100 free. Hey, NDC is a joke. The game is over for NDC. So, or say, someone has done free senior high school.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, he means this coming weekend, he's going to announce free university education. Oh no.
Yeah.
Or no, Tincha Kwabena
Bua.
Or no info free say, or anticipate it.
Yeah. About me, I can baby say, Omo ye a physical challenge for no. As a university, a free. James, I don't know, so drive
into ye, no. Or say, James Abunsu, ya crash so. Oh, MPP manifesto is woven around Baumia's vision.
Good.
His vision is different from another.
Yeah.
And some no AC echo. Into identity and I won't fiafia home. And man for expectation. Because two key areas I hear for education economy and jobs.
Yeah.
And the economy and jobs, no, and the nipa no 10 million out of 17 million voters, no, a year. Youth 18 to 35. And the other na won't sensitize you what they could expect from you. Hey, as I'm back ready. Was it the name of John Mahama is more important for the MPP party than anything else? And I just want to show anyway, the air source or no. The Fanta, was your chair free Manchester, and or the Ebaye, a Crispo or the Fufu, was it the MPP supporters and sympathizers of Patriman and Wabiajan of constituency in the Ashanti region welcome Chairman Wood to the constituency today. The crowd was massive, and it's a sign of victory for the MPP. Well, no. Maybe Sajay, how are you doing today? My message is simple. MPP and Dr. Baumia will go to position, and Allah will be president. One of the agenda. Then, Wafa K from New Plan Station was Wafa Cabri. Alan Martin, a political career at Tunsuan, Wafa K, Vinny Kenyon. Ube Yiro, Amma and Pebia, MPP, Ayano. Ube Yiro, Hornum, baby, I know. The political career to Zuma, dear Bayer War. Why ye be a Kotoko Hine say, Monka dear Mayema will be any day. NTA. Don. I said, what Baba Rufaya? I said, what did Dr. Baumia have that he didn't add to Nanado's government in which he's part of? Don, and honestly, no, or they a honor as him. NT say ye can. Was it? Hey, Wafada Cabri to the who we are. Good afternoon, sir, Wafada Cabri. Wafada Cabri, you are being missed. Me mind is airborne inside Kingsland. Wafa, please wish Susie Adumako and Coventry, UK, a glorious happy birthday in advance. From myself, your parents, husband, with an energy, A.K. Canada, the children and all the girls would like to celebrate you as tomorrow marks another milestone in your life. Susie, blissful weekend to you and your team, Wafa. Also, a blissful weekend reaching out to Queenie Everlove in Exeter, Isaac Asamoah in Bermondsey, Evans Udro Anson, A.K. Jojo, inside New Jersey in the USA, Nanekwia Dakwa, A.K. Lady Kiss in Belgium, Evelyn Isari in Zaragoza in Spain, Kwajo Dakon, A.K. Cash, and George Quaymensa, A.K. Quaynana, both inside Dubai. Fantastic show by all standards. From Master P, London, and or the buy. Now, I say over, please can you throw more light on recent riots in the UK? Abusuafo we UK. It muhu akra na Afrobusu and say, ya test yes BB koso. Well, come and tell me. So okay, because me enra anyum so ready. Enra na menu aba amajamfo a. Na de ade odi enyo umfre obey umfre ne ma umfre me umfre wo fa ase na naboache umfre wo fa ase mam sewa umfre wo fa ase cheto obobo mu nyina na listen nipa be 11. So something happened in the UK with the writing, though it has gone down a little bit, but people are still fearful. Now, wabusuafo when your opportunity afro mabusom someone to saying.
Yes, as at 8th August, message I'm saying, hey, good afternoon, how are you? Hoping you and your family are okay with the riots and all. And I make cousin on a lecturer or Bristol or Sunday back say, ignore the news, nothing major happening, just a few matches and rowdiness in a handful of towns.
Not to Bristol and Wakasano.
I know, in a handful of town. Some of America, some Mebusian for no more doors into be any your kind. Or say a handful of towns and cities, which means say or no county or other places.
Who nearby Nessa what Greater Manchester or a Merseyside.
And also life is going on as normal for 99% of us up here. Which is on the side.
On the side of Bristol, no, west of England.
And I'm a busa me friend saying offer or my friends and my sister, my cousin, a bad girl. Mimi. I'm a banana. And I'm busa Mimi to say no say yes, we are all right. We aren't very close to where it's going on.
It's because just a whole Greater Manchester area or Merseyside area or and I would in a bus stop how much now
Northampton. And I'm a busa Madame Fidelba.
Northampton there no. oni achiri saa I mean unya ekon or something na Bedford or something Corby Catherine so na something no oh ni nifa so say okay
ena mebusa madam fo ba ko pa so no
and then Master P can say Bristol and say BBI okay or Bristol ana
ena mebusa madam fo ba ko no London ankasa ena o ka kire me say omo ye bo no ye adwuma wo like me ne kasa phone system me man and response I can so baby o ye adwuma wo of a mean kind but a hospital no ye adwuma
okay
ena o ka say omo side on no die
like
amount for ye wa abonten but ono die personally no kwa adwuma ba obekwa anope tututu obeba ahomatinti esi period na owa adwuma mu no ena esi but ono akasa no okono package pepper spray ena ozi ba could be I think say I don't know say bi obe electricity say den ti bibia ni on wire ready we obe spray go but I know say hospital no so ka hospital no around hospital no bibia sense I won honum ti she's basically no aftermath no ko hu which is all cut na all bar but main thing in there
was ade ni nyina esi ku we say die akoda ne ye no akoda ne ye Rwanda honum baby and or ye Christian and erroneous impression say or ye Muslim right and the initial response was to react towards Muslims anti-Muslim sentiments and then a 10 apple say I feel be anti-immigrants into a honum no na Africans no ehun nya shin bebre free say omo free Asia no ene ade na Africans no class Ghanaians no were from sene Nigerians no
really
na Ghana from kwala no enta nya kikiri say Nigeria from kwala no
okay
nti no obusuani bi oho wo ba oho na ne maame ane ne papa otimi keep an eye on akoda no wamfa no wankojeje problems mu na otiminya access to quality education no sua dia da bia no also wo dem because there's a Ghanaian na oye deputy minister na ne ba na chese ono ba Ghana odi deputy minister na ne yire no so ewo UK ho ade ba chi bia no na ne yire no ya say ono so ye adwuma no na wo so take time off adwuma mu eco police station ne ba ne ya twese kan we twese kan not ne ba na wa twese kan kwa na ehu the fact say obi betimi de sekan na etuo abo ne ba no so ahu no it Ghana so ade ba kwa na ewo mu no say ye mpaibɔ no ya na yefiri say nya adwuma ye take kan mpaibɔ ye adwuma pa mpaibɔ kese owie say afi wode akoda no kra bre ne papa na wa ba papa di deputy minister na ye yikwa na akoda si damentna esa adwane ko edi ne maame no wadwuma mu ada bia na ne yam hyehye no ne maame no wadwuma mu ada bia na ne yam hyehye no na afi di mpaibɔ ya o na akoda na tie ase aba be kane papa ho na ne papa no so businesses o de ne ba ne nam so o na ko school papa so ewa ha na abusa ho say dodo se ne nya there's even baako me am kra me ba no eno kwa de o mo de ne ba ye na chese wa hwe ana obi atonutuo ampa so e ba ne sa time ne passport ye minua convince poku ene na yere Florence kina farmer omu so mo de passport no mo de ahye sunyase ono aba bia convince ade ne tito no de passport na hye oh omu ti wo mani na kwala na fa Uber e de British High Commission na wa ko catch over say me a British you free say me date of birth ni nti me ma me ne papa e be so mpa na me no ma beto ma twene Ghana ha one man a British High Commission ya kwan akoda do ko ye so no yakoto no tuo nyame nko akin hospital nko wi strong enti say obi tena ho no mo a ya na emu edne
but for asema okay my sister last year UK teenager bi ye wo ne sekan ma ne wiye menim say o say na o ko school na danfo
yes
a boyfriend or dey man or defending na danfo no o defending na danfo na chese nipa no de war no So they were no ena mebisa my sister say be ya asem ena ne bad girl no so 18 na afina no be secondary school.
Mema program on this issue. Enyame yadme bi adwada na ase okuada. Na mintime ema London for na meka omasem. Na semenhia kwakufrem pomanso. Eye bishop emra meka asem no. But for now there yanhwe project a NDC for say omo ye ya omo de bo nwom e de ma adwoma hama. Ni yanhwe se projects men na nado so ye. E hwan na de be bo nwom de am yetie. Right, or say Burger Hospital, why you? And then today's edition of Chronicle, Ekufu Ado commissions 52 million Bogatanga Regional Hospital. Iti Misromo, Musmo Monument Famra, na ya Monubi Sunt NTB. Because I knew ya boy. Now it was ahead of, was it ahead of 2020 or 2016? Ahead of 2016. And or the Abonyum say Burger Hospital, why ye? So, and in 2024, Chronicle also tells us a group for commissions 52 million US dollar Burger Regional Hospital. And into Fabra. Samuel Tanko on Facebook Live was saying what the name Mahama is easy in music than other names. And also the I say Baba Rufai and I say Dr. Baumia is what? And then Ishra Yao on Facebook Live. And also all kind of say it's surprising that only Hoops Nadoye has been sued, especially when he's not the only one who has discarded this Japan book. Moreover, the person claiming to be our Chinese secretary who sued Major General Hobson is even mentioned in the book on page 21 under the political terrain. It raises questions. Could this be because Gubson is working for our incoming president, Alan Kay? Right. Yankona, coming week about manifestos. Already, weekend and the new patriotic party, Nippon 319, I pari womo say omonko and konko manifesto ho adwuma no. Omo end product no ebededi ama ye hunu de womu. Then the weekend 24th of August and a weekend August 24th so no NDC for having launched youth manifesto. Also the main manifesto no so ebeba. Just last Tuesday, and Alan John Kojoche Martin also had an encounter with the media. Say also the Great Transformation Plan, a plan rather than the promises leading a manifesto, and also the control thing. Earlier also know share academics at the University of Ghana, still in the offing to be share academics at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and other universities in the North, in the Middle Belt. Now, what they plan I'm almost free. Yane Dr. Basia Machibuating of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology says a nay multiple research telling us economy and jobs and hearing now 10 million out of 17 million voters in the region of 7 million at 10 million. That is a youth development as also here. Dr. Machibuating Yamwaha. Doc, now we are what is saying. Sir, 17 million names in the voter roll. Now, 10 million. I represent 18 to 35-year-olds, technically described as youth. Na ye kwa ama Chematin was why plan. MPP so the manifesto ba. And this is also the manifesto ba. O expectation of youth development as yet anything.
Alaka bemi dasi akwanya odiama mi na chia atifo. Youth development asama okay. Akwan biso ultimi and supplementing free the nation's economy. Yeti America say say enyuma eni omanu asani say the state is not working. The state is not functioning properly. The state is not doing well. Anutina Oman Ghana airport. And then there's confusion as to what to do. And also Anutina Samre Donado Mersono loans are Oti or minor nim and also Oti or minor nim Akojino. All-time high, but at the same time, Ghana is in an economic situation. I describe it as the West in Ghana's side because the first time Omanu Timin services, the debt 33.1 domestic and foreign, but it's simply because Sanima making a link. The economy, the issue of employment, or in this case, unemployment, tied into neglect of the youth. Eventually, Omano are poor, impoverished. In the situation here, now going forward, as I say, Omano, it comes from a position of knowledge. Or might not go through what we call institutional learning. Now, or might not how crucial it is to address such challenges here facing the youth. And like I mean, so sure, change generally, or might be change, a free what we normally use in political science as the people, but essentially from the youth, and from the youth in their collective sense. One more, if they are angry enough, they push the developmental agenda of state. And the politicians are pushed to address themselves to their concerns. How do they do it? By constituting themselves into a block and voting for a political party or the right agenda, plus other things. You may even come out as way. And the moment a real man of politics move, say this is the situation, then Omano would have placed itself on the path to, bringing development to itself, and for that matter to address the concerns of the youth, unemployment, and then prove it. From the year 2025, January 7th. I'm expecting from these people, these individuals, these organizations, information on the I can say at least something is hopefully going to happen. And some way and normally can. But we also bring in talking is not enough. Talking is not enough. But the content, what you say, and if we are in a position also to establish this party, this individual, in some way, are all continue. There's likelihood that me away. And especially those that we have seen before. We'll go back and look at what they have done before and examine what they are saying today and be able to also make some, conclusions. We make some deductions from all this and then come to some conclusions and tell ourselves that maybe you bet me I rely on party A, you bet me I rely on party B, you bet me I rely on some individuals so far.
Enti yetimi segregate a group of 10 million out of 17 million now, year 18 to 35 now. Then we also look at a year two major concerns, the economy and job creation. And also, what are your thoughts?
In ordinary terms, they can't say why you come down go to Bible can't say be a one tomorrow and say indeed the job creation is so tied to the economy. In fact, the nation itself should look at this as a major challenge. And that's all the program they are going to pursue job creation aggressively. What we know, and it's one, the state itself can play a role. The state leading the market, state-owned enterprises. But I had Ghana has demonstrated historically that Ghana is very weak. Ghana simply doesn't know how to do business as a state. It is increasingly when the IMF and the World Bank come here, and the only thing they know, Montomo industry. Now, in a way, they are taking over our economy. And Ghana has been following suit and listening to them. Meanwhile, what we know from countries that contemporary times almost and he said they didn't necessarily do that. A typical example in South Korea. The state is very effective. The state is very sharp. In fact, when the private sector is not doing well in South Korea, it is the state that goes to the rescue of the private sector. Restore confidence and keep it going. In Ghana, and another one, they felt that the indigenous banks were suffering. They went ahead to ensure that they are phased out of the system. Now, that is weakness. That is confusion. That's misunderstanding about the role of the state in development generally and also in managing the economy. So you see that people simply don't know what they should know. A bit of big titles, and they are wasting time in government and wasting resources. Job creation and the economy, and also job creation, and also people in government must know, and then go ahead to execute what they have to execute. Why do you, as a state, engage in an activity a bit closer down indigenous banks? Now, so many people one move into unemployment. When, on the other hand, the state itself should see the need to do what has to be done. In South Korea, if the banks lack experts, individuals who have what it takes to manage banks, they will bring them. Even they have to bring them from outside. If an issue of liquidity, they will pump money into it. They will make sure that the banks work. And then they will have to pay whatever amount of money that has gone into them. They will not create a situation. One more their actions and inactions. Unemployment. No. So Ghana here demonstrated ignorance, complete ignorance. And the job creation and on economy no timi ejina and on the affect. If we talk about the economy, a broad term, a katanema be so including the value of the city vis-a-vis other countries, other currencies, our system, food production, economy. You want to talk of job creation? We're talking of a huge issue. What we know from countries ISRD in recent times, and two key intellectuals have documented cases from many countries. Robert Wade, London School of Economics and Political Science, but documented the case of South Korea very well. Kenichi Ono, National Institute of Graduate Studies, Japan, and also had demonstrated cases from East Asia, Southeast Asia, and also Western studies, African cases, comparative studies from 1960, to date, or the above home. So we knew exactly what has been going on. Two issues come out. The state playing the role of leading the market, one, and the state playing the role of following the market. Principles are over to baby. The South Korean buses are young or Ghana ham. And yet individuals in the chassis, the state and the chassis, and when they were successful, the state handed them over to the private sector to manage them. And then the state did not allow them to do whatever that they want to do. They make sure that these companies are providing foreign currency among South Korean states that they do well all the time. The Ghanaian state is asleep.
And so I can hear reference to South Korea. What we could expect from two dominant political parties and independent candidates also. With the Korean experience, oversight across the India Swaka, where project managers oversee the youth who are given the opportunity to do something. Now, state, as you said, leading them rather than running behind them. With the independent candidate, Alan Martin was saying, design and implement a comprehensive national program for graduates of all tertiary institutions to start a small business. Under a new program, Start Your Own Business, with financing from Youth Entrepreneurship Development Fund. That is one. And then also asking banks, I operate to Ghana, has he said, banks to allocate the equivalent of 10% of profit after tax of the previous financial year to the provision of new collateral-free concessionary lending to youth-owned micro, small, and medium enterprises engaged in import substitution, export development, agricultural value chains, and general manufacturing. Some mmienu any asɛm a woka refer to Korea no. Diena, the state of Ghana, political actors, yebetimi aye in the light of their making.
Alakabe say alam team pa o de go akwan mu a o kan yi. Team pa mu tutie. We enya bibia so wonnimu a obetimi akeka bom aka teke. Anything no free obi a ono ankasa e wo san tiase no mu na apie and odi egu akwan mu. And you could see say a package what sign at define initially, how can I say or the graduates no matter their own, I was examining that because the case I hear, for example, from South Korea, for example, people were excited to go into the only actually import substitution cases. Export oriented. In South Korea, they were very interested in export.
Say import substitution, export development, yes, agricultural value chains, and general manufacturing.
So these are specifics. I bet guiding the young guys, members of the youth, to really come up with ideas in this, framework. The state are ready to support. And then one Kasakrano, we need what to do. There's something I bet I do. And you look at your area and things that are very easy to go into. Way a mad direction for society. And one of the major responsibilities of the state in terms of government, providing direction for the society and the economy. This is a typical example.
So this is on a plan. Now we expect the MPP to come out with their manifesto over the weekend. Then we expect August 24 for the NDC to also come out with their manifesto. Though Oma launching the youth manifesto, no. Would it be reasonable to expect them to work alongside teams here in order to crystallize something meaningful for the Ghanaian youth? Anna.
And I can hear baby or man seminar could do no one a packager, a bed generating wealth in Ghana ma unya government, unya anybody to be taken seriously. So now one Kasakrano wouldn't know what to do. The current dire economic conditions at Ghana won't. Only yesterday or 2-3 days back, almost the economy is doing well, and then there's this person from the IMF. I don't know whether he's doing politics or not. Ghana postponed the debt servicing responsibility. Now we are struggling through these times. You are saying Ghana is doing well. How can you say that? And we need to come to terms with the reality. Conditions, yet. In fact, that is why members of the state, at least the National Security Coordinator himself, was afraid people were going to misbehave. I told my students, politics is domestic. If people in Kenya take to the street, it doesn't mean in Ghana here we will take to the street. The domestic issues, differ. I don't know how free the Kenyan public is, how active civil society organizations in Kenya are, and the issue of freedom of speech. How vast is it in Kenya? In Ghana here, free the system. And to the extent people are able to come out freely, openly to engage the system, issues of external shocks like coup d'etat are really seen to be pushed to the background. And then increasingly, people begin to have faith in the democratic system, especially if the Electoral Commission does its work well, as truly independent and objective. And if the police is to be relied on, these major institutions, in addition to the judiciary, if political parties have faith in the judiciary, that look, even if we have cases with the Electoral Commission, the judiciary will stand on its feet and deliver justice. The system is free. You can sleep without thinking of coup d'etats and any other thing, because the democratic system will be seen as working, and people will talk about it and free people. The National Security Coordinator was himself afraid, and he was accusing academics and intellectuals of fueling some such destiny. Maybe all these are crucial issues. The political parties this time around are not just going to read manifestos to us. And there's something else. I deliver development besides the talk. And so in development administration, we say that talking is not doing. The doing, the ability to translate these brilliant ideas into reality. There's something. The nature of the state, the character of the state becomes the crucial deciding factor. For example, if it happens that Dr. Baumia Edin Kunim, Atuaba Manam Edin Kunim, Afe or the cabinet, Guaquem, or ye or man, members of his cabinet. Obet we have any person, I can take it now. Me mother cabre and yet the finance minister. Me want me. Only control party no so question. Everyone finance na you know. The campaign. For one kasa any hold bear pan or war over the MPP. So the core issues, the character of the state, it shall stay free. Who and who you are appointing to man various positions. 1, the finance ministry. 2, interior. 3, foreign. 4, trade. These 4 areas. If you, the president, who need absolute control over them, the state is weak. And you want the president to know what is the level of your commitment to freeing the state from any external control, overtly or covertly. How strong are you going to be able to do that? Something happened during President Kufuor's time. The late Major Koshiga, a Greek minister of the day, announced that Ghana was going to stop the importation of rice. And I can bring one to me. Me assure that when in common deep enough our cabinet and all the assembly PA and the whole package fell through Obi until whole assembly. Ghana continues to import so much rice. When Ghana is potentially a net exporter of rice. And here in political science, that is where our interest is. So the question is, who control all these issues? Can we trust Dr. Baumia to do it? I don't think so. Only control over the MPP. So it's not just coming out with a manifesto and yet talk. Are you going to be able to do it? Some people talk of political will. You only talk of political will when the individual is in a position to do it, and that he, as an individual, for one or another reason, is not able to deliver. But when one kasa wouldn't need control over the party because the party belongs to other people, we don't talk of political will. You are just there. Ghana is in a crucial situation. This is not a time for simple conversation and stuff like that. No, we need to ask all the crucial questions now. and get answers to them before we go to the polls to vote in December.
Na share ama yetimi abusa all the crucial questions na yenya responses I betimi rely on it. You are positing say Dr. Baumia may not have control of the MPP. The antecedents may not be that strong to be able to control the party. Now, in the other way, so the running mate and so now running mate in apprehension say or bekasa na or no
and do what we need to do. So why are they giving us the people they are giving us? Why are they doing that? Adetina and Adakwa Kufuado was so bent on getting Dr. Baumia to replace him. So much so that we already the party will be split it. And we have that situation with Alan out of the party. Ordinarily, party members, one more foremost interest towards the party. The party's interest should be the foremost interest of all members of the party. And then other things follow. But this has not been demonstrated now. So the question is, why was he bent on splitting the party? We need answers to this. And they give us the people they want to give us. So that their interest, and economic politics generally, is driven by interest. Politics generally is driven by interest.
Be it sectional interest.
Yeah, the interest, at that time, we don't know. One real actions in political power, and a interest almost ascribed to. What I say, the national interest or some other parochial interest. Any other interest, I enter into national interest in parochial.
So are you suggesting, say, President of the Republic, Nanado, and one more subscriber to the views, believed at the time, say, Kwambia, Yabema, Dr. Mamad Baumia, LED MPP, and it may have intended consequences here, SCA, or they may think unintended consequences, and ABCA, and I will see about Drew Babia, Yedre. Why would they want to do that?
And I can remember sure video be a peer Canoforiata long ago, a campaign or video near me. I see Dr. Baumia and a bit me at 2 hours more.
In fact, Omuko, a year, Kaswa, a year Pentecost Worship Center, Dr. Baumia, and Nana be there for Yada, and I organize my Dr. Baumia Koma lecture, and thereafter, a very beautiful summation, a year Antoinette Edibaye, and I can offer really an outing, and also can say, Dr. Baumia had demonstrated, say, he can wear the boots of Nana Dankwa Kufuado.
It was worked out. And coincidental that idea had to be, the idea has to be, brought out. It has been hashed. And somehow, now so then they continue to work on it. I don't know about a plan and yet be my worry or the problem I have is why were they bent on achieving that at the expense of breaking up the party? And that is the question I will always ask.
As I said, Chairman Sabunsu is an experienced politician and leader of the House recently. Or say yet to about 10 times, our MPP Mua and Dr. Baumia would win over Alan John Kwajuchi Martin. And also for sure, say, Alan Martin would become disgruntled and thereby have the challenger, Ekosusesi, and Nunti, and now or no, they also just to say, and Baumia Alan ticket. Ebetimi up for stall such a thing, notwithstanding. Amasusa, this is here Alan Martin in the movement is engaged in futility, exercise in futility. What do you make of that?
And I teach politics in Ghana, okay, University final year. The current class near roughly over 400. Politics in Ghana. So we discuss some of these issues. I asked the class to tell me, sir, if the MPP's election producing a flag bearer has been organized on a level playing field, almost a final car or BP. We are about Dr. Bromiadi.
Sir.
And
so, based on the Obakan say response you had mind, would you say it was empirical, it was scientific, and I say it just it was said in jest?
Science and methodology in research. Who use to sample the population is so big. We are controlled population. Just fine, maybe let's just be open. Because generally politics, any rigid answers, 1 + 1 2. And also, all the principles, go acquire more. Ideas a bit me a free school for Wabam, you'll be surprised. In the context of such open environment, and then we decided to test this. It will be empirical, it will be scientific, because you can get the same a group of people, take them through the questions, and they will give you the answers.
But quite serious
of a scientific investigation.
But quite serious to say, over 400 final year political science students at a reputable university like Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology would be asked to comment on a Kwania MPP Faso, a presidential candidate. And you are saying, say, not a single one of them and mentioned the current flag bearer, Dr. Muhammad Bawumia. How so? Let's just say, how so? How was it organized in Tia? Ebemo conclude say, Senka Yetuabano. Tell me, I mean, and perhaps a bit perplexed question was me. How do they think, say, a dear no freezer course when Tia a producer, an unintended winner?
Like I didn't go into that.
Okay.
I just left it there.
You didn't go into that. And now why infected final year students with biases? Be I no more accused who say we are biased, nana.
Some people think that it may be a bias. My class is that open, and they are able to engage me along those lines. There's a gentleman, one of the brilliant students in the class. Mimi Gidi said, this position, a favor MPP.
Mm-hmm.
And interestingly, on that particular issue, no, so can produce this particular outcome. And there's this development with that gentleman. I mean, chance here. He has opted to work with me as a teaching assistant,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a person who asks me critical questions all the time,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. And I'm trying to let you know how freed the classroom environment, and the students came out of themselves freely to relate to the issue to the best of their understanding.
Okay, to finally, Dr. Akosia Machibuateng of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, just before you go, now Benada and at the Coconut Grove Hotel, Movement for Change leader and flag bearer engage the media. Na me reproduce a faithful voice of something ladi ayenini Esquire. Na fe no me musa asem emfa ho. But just one sec, frames. Let's try and get the voice out there. Na yenti asem Samson ayenini. Eka ye na yemfa musa Dr. Akosia Machibuateng na yenti de ode ebebrain. working around the clock. Mm. Voice on that.
The coalescing of the things that Ghanaians have demanded. My name is Samson Ladi. I host News File. The first time I read the Great Transformational Plan, my summary of it was that it was the coalescing of the things that Ghanaians have demanded for a very long time, including the promises of transforming the constitution, the various parts. So this document for me represents listening to the people. My questioning revolves around your promise to amend Article 78. You will need sufficient numbers in Parliament in case you won. First, to be able to engineer it, and subsequently for the purposes of a referendum. How are you going to be successful with that? Because that is going to be a major challenge for a group like yours. You can't appoint your ministers, but the majority from Parliament. That dovetails into a part of the question here. How many MPs, candidates, are you nurturing around so that if you got sufficient votes, you will get sufficient members of Parliament to help you in the final event? I'm a believer of a third force, and I believe that your movement can take us there. I have voted for Dr. Parkwesi Indum and voted for Zenato Rawlings. I have voted for Bridget Jugbonuku and voted for Esla Owusu-Ekofo. I stand for the Ghanaian who believes that we need to encourage people like you to change the narrative.
Samson Ladi Ayenene Esquire, and the host of Newsfire on multimedia platform Joy FM and Ode Asemwese Etwo. What do you make of our comments here, Samson here?
Anakabre Article 78 in Yadia Mekai Bibia Ewohono. Mekai said Makai Bibi Afahonda in the writings of Prosakosi Pepe. But you see, I don't recollect it. But that's what something
you need to have your cabinet from a majority of your friends or ministers from Parliament.
Parliament, yeah. Thank you. I said, okay, no crime said, pick majority of your ministers from the Parliament. And I can't say anything. Should they necessarily be members of Parliament from your own political party?
And
no. The answer is no. You are to pick these numbers from the Parliament. So I think it is a situation of when we get to the bridge, we'll know what to do.
This was such a mensa bunsu say Alan Chamatin is engaged in exercising futility on the basis that on to me enya nipa or number form of cabinet. What do you make of such comments?
And I got propaganda or politics. And with propaganda, even a well-educated public can be, deceived. And just like I said not long ago, to the extent that the Ghanaian public is freed and free speech is guaranteed in our constitution, some of these distortions will eventually be counted. And one advocate of free speech He's called Mill. J.S. Mill. Or see, the state should not do anything to stifle free speech. And even in the situation now, people consciously misinform and disinform that the state should do nothing because falsehood will be brought or will be placed side by side with truth. And the virtues in truth will expose the lies in falsehood. So free speech will cure any malice. Free speech in itself will cure any malice. Even a constitution, basically, the ordinary interpretation, what kind of what you say, is there. That the Constitution prescribes says the members of parliament should necessarily come from the president's own political party. No. So this issue doesn't arise. Obia can be biafa hubiano propaganda no oka. Oka someone enya no kre. Na oka and then someone be a ben no kre hon but enya no kre. The bottom line is enya no kre. But who kuswa kana nipa ajatu. The moment that Edan Wadi in a freed political space, freed public, as everyone would definitely, will face the challenge because truth will come to shoot it down.
Right. Dr. Kwasia Machibuating of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Yet there was any analysis why in a VA mind. Education Machibuating and no. Now in the studio, Sabik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party already seated. That's a handsome young man.
Reporting for duty, sir.
Carry on. And also seated is the chairman of the NDC in Ayawaso, West Wogon. Chartered accountant, Bismarck Aite Abobi. So, chairman.
I salute you, sir.
Carry on.
Duty call, we are here.
Carry on. And then, I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything.
Mapo.
I bring in the Afro-Front of way. David.
Yes.
I come and see.
Now, say what I say yellow pa.
I was working with you.
Yes, I'm a kebi. What I say yellow pa de.
In fact, because sky blues in a mecalo.
And they coincident.
We don't say a shirt near Shimis Lacoste. And my brother Coco Frank and a different London Bremy.
And there be a coincidence and I would yellow.
Nyagro.
See, I pay when you.
Yeah, monitor.
Nyagro.
Yeah, substance now say, yeah, pay and fiafia. On the basis, say 10 million out of 17 million persons in the voter roll are aged between 18 and 35. Thereby can be described as the youth. Na Sankrofui MPP manifesto in the coming weekend. NDC manifesto in the following weekend. Though NDC are a youth manifesto are launching. And movement for change also adding a plan, the Great Transformation Plan, since January 2023. At the about refining, and now has the most refined version of the Akoto University academics and him, or the two media and him civil society. To see a year penoma miensa. The economy of Ghana and most researchers appointed as a year number one priority of Ghanaians. And job creation as year number two. and then giving the numbers 10 million out of 17 million youth development. The ordinary plan abano. If you on the very state in the youth development naturally. Not the also launching the youth manifesto no. Also restate at the actually. Not the pain on also at the manifesto bano. Also so am my idea what to expect. So pen for me mamu na amatrase.
Adaka breya Joso.
Mapa ya Joso.
Ebugri na nyime so.
Osi oni manifesto nti on Joso.
Don't worry. When young ye koso. Okay. She didn't chadara. Ntano die.
Ebo.
Yeah.
Youth development. What do you have in store? Economy. And so number 1. And jobs. As your number 2. In the Ubia with 15 minutes. Into over 5 minutes, youth development. Now, on also have 5 minutes into of the 3 no, will be situated. The other one can.
Third one here then.
Third one no, a youth development, giving the numbers 10 million out of 17 million persons in the.
And the second one here then.
Second one yeah, economy.
No,
and
the first one here.
Economy and a job creation and a youth development. So, what do you propose to do about empowering the Ghanaian youth, 10 million out of 17 million in the voter roll? And then what do you propose to do about the running of the Ghanaian economy to bring it to resilience? And what do you propose to do with job creation? In the 5 minutes, 15 minutes each. Now will be 5 minutes on each of the issues. In your priority, the Obeshasi Abekano. But kind of 5 minutes. And you allow another person also to exhaust for also 5 minutes. In which order a person can, and we allow the third person to also exhaust the 5 minutes. In which order? If we are not your 12 so on also swap on the second 5 minutes. Now or they are called. Now if we are third person swap on the third 5 minutes. Now if we are your mama a year time kakra. Baby I had no ground rules and say more be interject to be a heckle no. Now on my ma. Enya the opportunity say omubeti obi asem clearly unia say onya comfortable to be a session. Apologies to Brian Champon. You go and bend the sea.
Papa Madasi Ozikan Mamincha Mr. Alan Chamanton or Ghana's first independent president in the making. So Nyankopon no pia. Nasa next year. Say Ghana for your young president for the first time. Them a Benin for year, you know. Yeah, but 2 Yanaba is an independent president. Not in Kabum and Puntu was our Ghana. Now, Muzikan Makabibi about the economy. O sende Bibia ye biano so busy moon unzumu ugin economy no do. Say economy ni jina Bibi bia obejina. Na say ehwe Mr. Chamanton ne great transformational plan no mu nsama wetintim wo ma economy bofado magana economy we gina na wa akonanyima oye nyije surunko ononye de se ba economic cluster of the GTP na Mr. Chamanton ozinzama bi atwa akwan mu nzama anan basically opade oye for economy no ho magana fu yeziye. First one or the macro economy. Ya kada macro economy. No chede dam macro economy only no oze economy no mu. So dam economy bia no so macro economic indicators no. So on ye juma virtual chede mini economy. Inti under macro economy no nzama du bia ko oya 11 na was atoto de obeye. Mum boshwi na mum kodo na Ghana funte. First one, also expenditure management and control. Economy be fado a Ghana yensika yenyan ya spend. Ya be in such a way there on fan hoche on fan brand. Second one is revenue optimization. Economy be fado a ya be ma Ghana yensika oye eto oye jeje no. Wetum ye pajem na ye bu emuso. Na yan fa how no manyimpa kuma bi nyimpa ketekete bi wo omani mu de won gutu na wontu tax na watetetu tax so do o se oya ECOWAS sub region ha no Ghana yen tax rate no be the lowest in ECOWAS. Then if you say market tax, also lower taxes and duties. If you say stable currency, money as say me you can say this $1 is equal to 16 cedis. That mean omani biala experience that situation there as $1 you know what it's equal to 16 cedis, you know. Na money no che there in zema sekra. If you are also low inflation ye mbra anaso ekwana nzama no bo okoso time biala no so ya ha oye low inflation na ya low competitive interest rate and financing charges adagabre mo ayo onye there this year because of Africa Continental Free Trade Area na nzama bia sisi wa aba oye msalancha mati na ada Roma oza abobaze wa Africa ha the mazin nti wa masisi ala as in market na competitive nti omana obi wa Ivory Coast obosa interest rate of about 5 to 8%. Now e Ghana it 35 to 40% is it no kire nzema nkoye so wa kire ekono obofado if you also debt sustainability e kawa yaze ekono ebofado a ekono bobo form yetum yetu yen ka o mayan ho atoyen then increasing financing for SMEs oye oye wona nkwankunjuma nkakrama na akasi nyina ekono ebofado ye behwe won na afisu cocoa sector which is the most important sector of Ghana economy ekono ebofado ma ye behwe mkena cocoa no wejina na yen konko babo so wa mononi enfem beto cocoa na maybe iska wa Ghana ha exact cocoa if you also see deepening capital market and financial intermediation of Ghana then improving labor productivity inti ozi nzama to akwanim time no so obafado wa magana ye gina ye in terms of yen economy no because se bi yeska sham farmers dey gbo ejuma na if you so apart from macro no wa kire economy agriculture new agricultural revolution na industrial transformation na tourism that means nani na owo na ma economy no ma oza to there obogbuebuem magana fo watase na wa hwede na wa to aba man ma abeye magana wa konanyim it is just the introduction
yada ura ebo backman ase representing the movement for change Afrafranto of which Alan Kojucha Martin leads them. Now, Chairman Bismarck, Aite Abobi of the National Democratic Congress, youth development, economy, jobs, 5 minutes, in no order of preference.
Economy.
Okay.
Understanding. Medasi Adakabre Mechia ona OTA, Mechia His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, or Volta region, our din in Tuabo, Bebe, and Yema me, Professor Nana Geno Pokunso, and Neda market I would war in Kraiha or Chini Binumwa, na oni Yema me no more, our Mutua dear would do more. A honor betty me shall money or more chill message, you know, or new more echo Kasai. Adakabre Tamunucha, Yaka economy. One of the pillars of the strongest pillars when it comes to economic management of every country. So we economy in here, we exchange rate and yet inflation and yet na enkwala sikaya di bo man who bra eniwa. How mine there is no way productivity will happen. And the answer na productivity beba I be create employment, you know. The one true who free a car wabo. He said the MPP are buying almost 700 billion a car mad boato hono. There is no way this economy will grow under Nana Dankwa Kufuado, Dr. Baumia breaking the 8 because Omaine Dika it is the only better production who could be accountable. How can you progress? Aragabre, the economy of this country, no, it was said we should localize our activities. Bibia wo merimu, ye kanti ma ye wobi, ye ka go da ye wobi. Bibia ye di chichiro man bia ye wobi. Nanso ya joining nyina ma amanonifo, ena omu take commanding height. Enu na mboa ma economy no enkoso. Na ora John Dramani Mahama ewo nyame bia or start here 2016 and na ebo me. You see the levers of the economy. So your mind na unnie ni das wo bia ubetimi achichiri daachi ato ho na just o mind no ye ni ho. Dia na John Dramani Mahama ye. Under John Dramani Mahama, uti bibia na ye friend sinking fan. Sinking fan dia na e ba be busia ya bought is all mine Ghana no. Ye nya sika free oil, ye gigi ye to a. No we create account to be near the kakra egum. It will solve our future problem. That sika ni bi His Excellency Nana Dobaye John Ejekunku for the first Euro bond I raise here for 750 million. Ye tuya ya manika 250 million. Oba ya tamu no soon ye 2017 or ko sinking fund mu ko fesika. Mini wukasa sisi ya no o man Ghana ye ti ya no ye ni bafa bia a se bibi tu ye ni ye ko rely on. Ukai stabilization fund, any heritage fund. Stabilization fund ye buy ya COVID. Nana do buy ya COVID buy or the nisa ko boom 600 million or the ABB. Enu chira banya or boa or minor economy into the future. Heritage fund. Heritage fund. Sika ye de to ho for daching input to Juma and I said daching because ye nya oil. You see oil 25 years e be san o. Na kola na afi ni yawo no. Ye nyina ye chefa ade o so obi anya chefa wo. Heritage fund Nana do buy o si okay ye di be ye free senior high. Obi anka hwe o start ye. Na account no da ho eti wo ye free mu no na o di bi shem. Say the be ya after December 7 ye to abana wo lose na obi ba. Onu so benya bibi no dia start Nana do anya ni sa. Hwe Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. John Dramani Mahama create ye di sike egumu over 300 million as an ye free abemu ye si sa sika no ye di be boa impuntu potofrim ye kan say potofrim ye kan say twikasa BBC no minu putuprum na BBC a dia na wo say ye e wo say ye nya ba bia ye di ye ho berira adumi say infrastructure sa sikano for roads major infrastructure ye bridges akese ye see dan akese. That is what the intention was. And here this apart from development ye nkete no ye building buffer for project ye di ye akwan e bind dia Nana do ba ye wo mu di akobo mo ho busia to extend say Puma Hotel esi airport city or the 30 million ekobo the osino ebusia ye mami Teresa president in yire nua onu na esi na
president your friend saying
Puma
president your friend saying
ye Teresa ye mami kai me
okay
kai me
and you intend to say Pullman not
Pullman
yes
Pullman Hotel
PU double L
and ampajo mami no boni di
me and you soon go for what what they will tell me
Becky Auntie Becky
adakabre we say unya mi
you soon go for what
now so bo mami
aka 1 minute
okay enti ya mami Becky ni nia busiani ene dia bo ne busia ye bi so wadakabre you see Pullman Hotel we are. Can you walk there and go and take a breakfast? Can you pay? Will it benefit Ghanaians? These are the issues we are talking about. And your mind, the Ekuyan Kasiani exchange rate. Omo ye juma. Eya mi minifia ma omo egu omo juma ne juma ni egu. E better no for youth. I employ omo. So enamo amamu born inti. Says ya uko jomu a uto ade ene. Yes inflation ba for ba uto ade ene o kira uko ni atum. What is the challenge? It is because the managers of our economy, Dr. Baumia, our economic team leader, he has nothing for this country, and
right.
I don't know, why are you laughing?
Oh, I was laughing at Ubi Ahiano or Chiara.
I didn't know.
Right. We've listened to Chairman Bismarck, IT Bobby of the National Democratic Congress. The first 5 minutes on the economy, our expectations, and what they are doing. Now, Yanko, a Sibik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party, what to expect.
Yes.
You may choose between economy,
yes,
job creation,
yes.
and youth
I will
development.
choose. Me person, I want to draw your attention to something.
Okay.
Be focused on this work. That's an interview you are having with us.
Yeah.
Also policy, a policy.
Yeah.
What you say? Madam for transfer kasai. Dear he na a policy or kasai. Look at what he's talking. That's the policy he's holding. This is my policy. Any sniper or sorry or which of them did he say is a policy? Let me give you policies here. Okay. And look at Upper Franto. These are policies reading. What here the policy? None of them is a policy apart from condemnation of MPP.
Nanado. No.
Yes, okay. Yes. I mean, per se. Yeah, mammy, but me per se a friend say a tier for who say. And this no, how ni MPP. Yamo mo kwan say chire de muba bebe ye economy, jobs, and a friend say bread and butter no. Wa ba na MPP and then ham. And na wo condemn ye. Not just say de muba ye kra na woni. De di kan. Your policy number 70. What do I say? Policy number 70. Me per se me reading now what we intend to do and to continue in government and to bring you yeah. And there's a meeting number of Obiti said flag bearer. If there's something he wants to do, why is he not doing now? This is Nanado's government. It's not Baumia's government. People should get that one clear. There's a limit to what what's it called? The running mate or the vice president can do as far as the governance of a country is concerned. There will limit. Obetimia shishen yama na so obetimia ma a friend say suggestion be president opera no offer. Opera offer. What do you say? And people should get that one straight. Mira, yeah, share your friends, your policy number 70. It says that 1 minute. It says 6 school level collaboration with international sports like NBA and stuff like that, and collaborate with private sector. We will train at least 1 million youth in IT skills, including software developers, to provide job opportunities worldwide. 52.52 of our manifesto also says here. Where is it? 152. Okay, so 52. Okay. It's a national. Oh, sorry. I society. But and when I'm present, it's a provide equipment to government authorities in mining equipment to undertake reclamation of land, district mining, and this is on district mining. District mining committee should be responsible for reclamation and replanting of what a friend saying lands. Introduce vocational and skills training on sustainable mining for small-scale miners in curriculum of TVET institutions. So these 3 institutions, a friend saying policies, you are looking at giving the youth opportunity. What you say? Say, mining sector say, no, I say, the youth are already doing mining there. Of course, that's an illegal thing. But there's one form of a mineral. If it is properly enhanced, it's creating jobs. It's going to enhance bread and butter issue. What do you say? So if you take the 3 bullet points of this our policy, which is aimed at enhancing what's it called, the mining sector of this country. You reclaim land, you do a mining banking, you bring other sophisticated mining companies to come and support, and then you have a sustainable mining sector. In the long run, it is youth that it is jobs that you are giving to the youth. What you here, and so you are enhancing bread and butter, which has to do with economy. So offer your policies here, and I say your manifesto, which we are going to launch on Sunday morning in Takoradi, it dovetails from one sector to the other. Unlike this, our people here who think that because as we speak, there are a lot of there's some economic difficulties in Ghana. Power is there for them to grab. It's a mistake that you are making. What you here? And so the economy, as we are talking, I'm just looking at just mining. I'm just looking at just mining. Again, if you take a friend say this same sector which we are talking about as far as job creation is concerned, Baumia says that they will bring in a lot of more modern machinery to enhance the TVET that we have already done. that will give youth some hands-on experience. So until nkwalani free school bar, and yafe no mbeka say we are going to rely on government. Say be pay juma na say. One kase the Western was school no over out. You have an opportunity to do something on your own. And many countries like Japan and other countries, that's how they started. And their car friend Toyota, if I'm not mistaken, it started as Datsun. If I'm not mistaken. It started as Datsun. And this is 1972-73. I was there in Tamale. That Datsun is no more. A buyer, now people were laughing at it. Today, that guy is, can you know, yes, oh, where China goose? This is how it started. What you say? Today, the China goose are with those days now, you can say, and your quality has now improved. If we do the building blocks for the youth and the economy, eventually we'll dovetail into bread and butter issues. Until for the starting, the American friends economy.
Right. Sibik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party, and he had earlier on a Bubakman of the Movement for Change, and Bismarck Aite Abobi of the National Democratic Congress, and Sibik Ediabiwe. Now, Chairman, we'll second 5 minutes, and Bakasa on economy. We are left with youth development and job creation. My NTO, second 5 minutes now.
Yo, Medas, many are penny or woman said, or Casano, see, yeah, Casa about the economy. I mean,
at the end, our policy.
Miss policy.
At the end, our can say
that you have destroyed is what I'm telling you. That when we say, so I will come to employment.
Employment policy, me NTA.
So what you have here? We are going to reintroduce policies that you have killed. Now, who can economy?
Which one is that? Which one is that?
Mining.
I said ground rules, no. Ma obi improve.
Economy now.
They do the policy. That's our policy. Your policy in here.
Your policy on economy, no.
Chairman. Chairman,
Mika Galamze wa. Mrs. Small scale mining. I didn't say Galamze.
My listener know what you and mark my why.
Can policy in here?
Employment.
What is 1 minute?
Yes. Employment. Me no be kasa afa 24-hour economy. Yen policy a ye de be boa mbebunu ma omo anya ntuma aye. Decent job, of course. If you mo be da ho, say over 14.7% of our youth omu wie school a ejuma ho aye din. Say ya Ghana Statistical Service say emebru 10 million a o kan so omo wo register no so no. 2 million bi wo mu a womu ni ensano juma bia. Enti Ora John Dramani Mahama ni His Excellency incoming Vice President Prof Nana Jane Etraseno Nana Jane Etraseno. Omu hu say 24-hour economy ya dia aman bia etwa ye hu ehia ewiase afa na nyina baabi wo ho a omu ye 24-hour economy a eboa. Adakabre your policy is very simple. The can say assume say me factory me ye biscuits. Nanso si akwemu bi ti say electricity cost, any lack of enabling business environment. Mwa mami ti mi nye juma ne mbro don hwe enwotwe a. Aban so the policy ba ye di ba be boa wo. Se ne be ya eka na wo bonti a wutimi enye juma mbro 8 hours no. Ho ahen ha o. Ebi ti say ukobo busia interest untimi ntua enti on bobusia extend the business ye be boa sa ni pakro no na wanya loan ne boa efo se ne be ya obo expand the electricity you give you a rebate tax utua ye ma untua 25% on your profit ye ma u betua lower se ne be ya obo save sika na wa invest into the business na the can is say me na me produce biscuit na mitimi ye a day me produce 8 cartons and now 10 cartons with 10 workers. Uber 24-hour economy now, Uber run 3 shifts. That bear in mind, biscuit in kwele dipa na so company ni ahun odin so e ma ni produce ntino ye kwa manoni and ye kwa crab biscuit diba. Eti ye ba be empower the local producer of biscuit. Say the be obe produce bebre na wo a udi fra manoni ba no umfa maybe because udi ba no na dollar no e na ye twen kwa amanoni. Eti the can say me and me produce biscuit no. So aban so obey 20 obey boa me na my 24-hour economy me be 3 shift. Enti adwuma nipa ba ko betimi aye no. Ye 8 hours no 3 shift e be ye. Na nipa miensa so anya adwuma. So what you say running 3 shift 3 people will be employed. Enti say aban ni me cost apam no a me be increase the production of biscuits. Say me be increase akọ 1,000 tons and now 2,000 tons there. Any baby am fa flour ni free no. Onu so e was say me catch and say flour na ya me to wo no. Me ba be increase me flour na me to no from probably 2 tons to 4 tons, 6 tons. Onu so be expand ni flour business. Na baby a onya flour ni free no. Say the cassava na yo, ye the sorghum na yo, ye the maize na yo, bro na yo. No wa catch and say, hey, manya contract o, aban boa me, enti no cassava na udua na ye the flour no. Me pacho increase the number of acres uba be den uba do no afiwe e de amame say de be amenya raw material na metimi dia produce flour na biscuit manufacturer no so etimi ato e de arani 3 shift adakabre e koso sa nipa kro na odo 10 acres na wanya contractor obedo 30 acres no labels of how mo e be increase bibia land size be increase na obia ye bia yenti ye create job from the farm to the producer of the flour to the producer of the biscuit enti eradia se ye ni here imebru bebre amwe university omunye adwuma anye no they are going to get job to do enti eye policy ehuhia ye mpa edi adwuma beba the linkage the value chain you know. The value chain is huge. So increasing the production of biscuit, transportation companies, Wamusube increasing their transportation. Say first, so you see 1 car and distribution. Say so baby you see 3 car. Drivers be increasing or better fuel. The economy will produce. Aboso kind spare parts. Omu you see 3 cars. Cars ni be say no mu ye fit and sube ye juma. First fit and no be car back on juma. Say so be kam ye sanwe juma onu so anya sika. Afe apprenticeship program a yedi be support to ye nuanu mo mu ni sanu juma bia 2 million na Ghana Statistical Service say omu ni need as wo bia no yedi omu e ba be wuru adwumam enti wada ka bre say wo ye master either fitter upamo ade bibia wo ye bia no ye be register ni ama onimdia e be bua wa adwuma no ye wi a na yedi meburu no abrew yedi meburu bre e fa brew keka so upamo ade a aban e na pam ade bebre wo kuromu a uko hospitals, schools, any in the account. Ye be ma contract. Now I ye ni atua o ka no training kwala no. Nkwala ye bro 5 now to me training no upon one. Say fit any a ni 2 so the best start ye the be pon ho. Say on pamo ade a now I training nipa 5 for ye pon ho. Na ya fa ni so we machine here the man. All this you know we are creating the about future you to know na Ghana your future no say am prepare omo enne na future no be dru ho no need you maybe oni sika woni botomo we have destroyed
Chairman Bismarck aite abobi of the NDC and on job creation hotel in Kano dem go tie Sabik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party on the issue of either say job creation and now say youth development.
To say me can me.
It doesn't matter which one you.
Yes, there me di can. Ofa your manifesto no. Item by item, it dovetail into one or the other. In totality, no, it goes into youth employment, it goes into job, and it goes to the economy, which are always called the bread and butter issue. Offer point number 19 is to empower the private sector to create modern, sustainable, and well-paying jobs for the youth. Empower the private sector to create. Private sector need private sector ne say ankura juma. What you say? Some juma say is a private sector led. What you say? Yeah, them say ye wo a man for bebre omo anka say when ya ba juma a private sector. Ntino say oboa wona. Omo the push. A bit say or say at the port there will be a flat rate of importation tax. There will be flat rate, and to the extent say Your port, say, there's a great difference between your port charges na and any lomi. Diano. Until Ghanaians be brave, say, mom, Eddie, omu, a friend saying, goose, near mo, near man, Eddie Freeman on Ebana, Eddie follow me because of port charges. Our manifesto says, Yaba, we will try and lower it and synchronize that with what is happening in Lome. Until when you know, the more say nipa Eddie Niama Eba. Ekra niyama free amononi eba ebi enyuma and you are supporting them reducing taxes for them niyama no ni nyina no in the end no e create their jobs what you say until no was to empower the private sector no in the morning and sustainable and well paying jobs for the youth no sisi e ka say yes say the friend saying a minimum wage aba ejuma bi obi obefa ni bia and there's a minimum wage but no ni aba ejuma people are still being paid lower than the minimum wage in this country. So there'll be a legislation to enforce. Say that nobody will fall below the minimum wage. What you say? Again, say to make it easier for Ghanaians to obtain traveling documents under my government. Any Ghanaian who has a friend say Ghana card holder will only have to pay fee for a passport. All this makes things easier for you as a Ghanaian. Until we are a young fellow and also a babunu. Now why you say open so too quiet? And also pursue government will support you in terms of getting the right traveling documents. What you say? Say we are continue a very easy amount. Now what me and to attain full security through the application of technology and irrigation to commercial large scale farming. It's about jobs. Debia Mikasa say Ufrika air kukumasia. After Accra and Nasan Sawam air kono. Usha left and Obaka se kroma ye wura. Oka se wura. And all we need is to irrigate. You have for simple friends, farming implements. When you go to the Far East, Malaysia, India, Bangladesh, all those these are the things they are doing to extend. They are not taking the people out of poverty. And then now Matisa stream and stream and then maybe you join news. And so well, for the past 3 months, and so and torn off. For the past 3 months, and to join is no moka. What you say, Nipa, say, Kasa, you are so, and then Sika Edo. Yeah, you was small, friends, small machines, you bet Nipa bet me dear ba wo chrome her. Now, it's also the Asoso and Nancy Sika Bedon with the small implementing machines about to make life easier for the farmer on a large scale irrigation. Chroma mintias here. This year, North and soon to Argentina, we are still relying on the weather for rains. Wow, in this era, I was saying about this and we have large scale irrigation. What you say? Yeah, but this time, no, Nsuanto, Nipa won't so while obeying the Agun events. I am more a novel, said Demo, Bibia Amana, any said Osepe. And so, no, we are still relying on the yes method of farming. And the policy was saying about to attain full security through the application of technology. Technology and irrigation to commercial large scale farming. And when we would in the long run create a juma, and that will feed into the economy, which I always call the bread and butter issue. See, a problem. A piece of tuber of yam, Madina market is 35 Ghana. That's too much. Eggs, a crate of egg today is 60 Ghana cedis. What do you say? When I was a year taking policy, and no, but me say waba, he will implement to ensure the cost of living in this country comes down, cost of food in this country comes down, and so these are the policies that we are being put that we will launch in Takrady on Sunday and ensure, inshallah, that when Ghanaians give us a note to continue, we will implement.
Right. Sabik Bugri of the New Patriotic Party. And earlier on, Chairman Bismarck, Aita Bobby, now, a Bob Bachman of the Movement for Change, youth development or job creation?
Job creation.
You mean way?
At the cabaret, in there, unemployment or why be a national security issue. And see, oh, here, Papa, you especially in Babuna, where we school 5 years, 6 years, when you're human. I can't ever for the when you're human, yes, what is important. In Payinfosis, a quarter cost of more time, I'll be sending. No, so Obisu can obey Bibiamo, I'll be sending Walankasa, aye be done. Mr. Lanchamantin na asema mabekain. Nancy I will read the media budget. What's it? What is one factory? We create 170,000 jobs. Ma one come a yanting automobile industries now which is produce cars or the number of employment we create. Yanumba yenu anoma no work school or mechanical engineer, electrical engineer or university we school when you man see sala and yejmo Toyota, yejmo Nissan and also Vindobio and also Kia. All these things, or your masala and chamantin, and son of human beings. Why a bidder? What's it? Painful. Why a bidder and often I a boafu. What you can? Fantastic ideas in this book. You to be a book even on Kankan. First one, I'm looking at there. Masala and chamantin bar. One of the quickest things in obey, you there, obey install 100,000 health screening booths at vantage points in communities to provide screening for early detection of lifestyle diseases and other common ailments. Example, high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, malaria, flu, typhoid, etc., etc. Also, the booth will be owned and operated on a work and pay basis by FOS graduates and graduates from tertiary institutions. My son became there. And there, your baby or what? Say, okay, you have frequent test, a bad test, but tell them they are not the hospital OPD. Or they how the bronco. Inti, as a crop, was about to solve two problems, or to solve heart problem, and or to solve unemployment problem in there. Oba 100,000 buta was a fiberglass was a banankasa bottle. Water machines in Fila was a dam in Germany now. Now, as the dummy, boot, Ozama Mbabun, or ya one away SS, and as university, I win your German, Ozama, why work and pay. Into say, wasn't one of the what is he, Kaneshi, and also Simakola. Young man, young papa, my old gomno, so people don't test the sugar level, and then cholesterol level, and you know, hospital, Obawa, 5 cities, na test haman. Obanama abrantia na akatesi no obutum na wenyesika so onyesika no so tua boot na beneze apart from doing the health obutum the business kaka so aka ho dami no bomanyi pa 100,000 when you juma immediately. The next important one owazi mu onenye start your own business there if school ehwe na Ghana sisara if go for watching a film is because abenejuma ntum fan krofo in the private sector no so in zaman koyi because economy nankasa wa shrink, cost of production is high, into businesses are not growing. Into Mr. Montes so ba azo ba ye koso there graduate now when we were university now watching a film now one yen obama umankasa. Let me read it here. It is better I read it the way my explain. Also design and implement a comprehensive national program for graduates of all tertiary institutions to start a small business under a new program. Start your own business with financing from a youth entrepreneurship development fund. So this fund will be established. We establish this fund here. No be sika. We support Mboframa. Ma yan Mboframa where we school and what's in a fear watch and there. We be your fire service na police na be 5 years in yana wunyano. One can say butuma start to business in kakakra. Business akasa say Uganda nyina no. Or your business wash us in kakakra. The same time academy there. Mr. Lanchamantin Kuyala in the 90s no started them and protect Ghana. Menden Juma kasaka so Ghana. Be 60 to 70%. Wo do nankasa fani semu and protect. See that kasa pre economy na next time na sumu na azini nyina. Wo fani semu as small businesses in the way giant. Ni nyina ya azam Mr. Lanchamantin otumi ya pa. Then you come here. Obi said that until asema okay nyina no. Obi said na wa finance ma ka bi acho. Oye entrepreneurship fund no. Apart from that, I say Obasha banks, listen to this. I say banks to allocate the equivalent of 10% of profit after tax to the provision of new collateral-free concessionary lending to youth-owned micro, small, and medium enterprises engaged in import substitution, export development, agricultural value chain, and general manufacturing. Obviously, ɔse ɔse traders bank yanum babu na wɔpɛ dɛ wɔwie school obi ɔwanye sɛbi I mean mo mate fa was kasana mende though I was able to go to the university when two manko they started businesses and they are rich people you obi no wa and you went to school ma then onfa businesses no nyim ye ɔse obobu a traders bank that traders bank or a specialized banker Obama egwazifo awo Ghana obu so won asen oya aban disca be shase na mum egwazifo na obu own it will be a bank owned by traders so one kasa obo won obu saza na interest rate no onka ya kase da ma other banks no worry obandama ya maame no wuzigwa ya papa no wuzigwa mbabu na opede wuzigwa nyina na obi nya busa interest rate no wofom was abobra. In fact, in this book, 33 points. Na misala nchama no ze go am a youth development and employment.
Okay.
Kwan mbiri man kwan the maka in me case to do what is the kwate cost obama otama be say one opo wo gina one na no bra wa bo we creating jumada and I'm telling you misala nchama odemufua.
Right. I Ebo Backman of the movement for change and no. I owe each of you 5 minutes and until when you're ready na youth development and fans also. But before then minye mutam kakra bi na mene development economist ura John Kwaju Owusu Boache entwetwe nkomo kakra wa management consultant na yebusa say how do we translate manifesto promises and this concrete plan of movement for change, how do we Obakana say translate manifestos into a working system? Now yet me deliver on it. Bajo yamwa now to say
now
you manifesto we are led to believe say promises laden and obano abehwe obetimi ayana so ntimi and then we have a concrete plan to say movement for change here about what they propose to do and in your plan. How do we translate a manifesto into a concrete plan?
Yo, many I'm chow never chief for I'm say me hear discourse no. Me who say Ghana political parties na no promises no you making no. And Thomas Papa. Thomas Papa na say men from my background baby I me feel urban. Me bisafe National Development Planning Commission crown wo mu dia adwuma pa na wo mu ye. You see because they say we be aba be hunu we ye campaign o say am be adwuma we ana me ye we buy a party we buy no wa meto aso sa na ma so it means say ye wo the buoni be kan say we have a disjointed plan for our national development and also MYA. So the minimum say enka baby to say political parties MPP for Kolanchi omo dia Sunday I was secondary takrade NDC for so my youth Mr. Chemate His Excellency Alan Chemate so the great transformation plan aba. So going forward, what say you just say your system here said you about winning elections, and your political party agenda and I will follow. Name no or be follow national agenda beer. There was your money sustainable. So the manifesto should be translated into workable policies by the National Development Planning Commission. And it is a year. Yes, you baby in year. Oh, man, oh, baby, I will near 2 years. And the next, do a banner in your piano. No, at Wasso. Hospital agenda 111, and I'm bound with the Abba. Young person will be the banner or truncate projects in Intino. And one said, your development plan for the foreseeable period. Your Ghana, your Nkoma, Yachimen's a 7-year development plan. Anchor of development planning in sub-Saharan Africa and for that matter, other global areas. So let us adopt that. Senior high school, free senior high school. Also, about the reviewer, who the review say, Ebi Ameno, Messiah, Adakabrame, the American say, the whole world, all the channel, the whole experience. There is no country, education is free, bonding. But the boarding system was just adopted by Kwame Nkrumah to bring this country together and break ethnocentrism. And now you see Ghana, you know. Asante for a pre-womodia, a chum for pre-womodia, a for pre-womodia, a for pre-womodia, which means to say this country is sitting on a time bomb with the we will have a polarized country going forward. What I call it, say, Ghana and Yahya from 2028 go, you know. We will, this is our Amagedon.
Okay, but you, Mama, date early next week now. Saturday, no, and I be after 24 for no be the manifest abano.
Exactly.
Now on the issue of the economy, job creation, and youth development. Now I bet in a studio near Farama. That's right. Yeah, John Kwajo Usubuachi, and is a development economist, and or the Nasam Adiabato. Will be a final 5 minutes. Subik, and no, offer the first 5 minutes.
Me twasu a the PD lecturer ya kan. So a lecturer me wa.
He's a management consultant.
Okay.
In private practice.
Yeah, and that's point number 50. You see, proposed to amend Article 87 of the 1992 Constitution as well as the NDPC Act. NDPC has something no can. So NDPC is a man for say, or people are advocating say, yeah, no authority. Now all the political parties, all their manifestos should be aligned to what the NDPC, which is the body that outlines the vision of our country. And to say, friends, your manifesto points a woman say, and a NDC launch and a great transformation, and other parties. Whether it is aligned with the vision of a friend say NDPC, is something that we are not able to do. And I know I say it's disjointed. But in some countries, so this NDPC, a body a siwa, once you come, there's what we call maybe a skeleton point. Now, what as a political party, offer point A, economy. This is the skeleton that NDPC the amount. How are you going to weave your policy around this skeleton? What do you say? Jobs. This is the skeleton that they have given you. How are you going to weave your policy around the jobs? What do you say? Offer a friend say the economy and now say mine or any sector of the economy. And that the man put you also and you should align with the NDPC. For people are calling for it to become an authority. And I agree with him that there's, you see, Ghana and Kasanu generally, the way we do things, I mean, sometimes cry, because I have lived in Holland before. I was in Frankfurt. I was in Vienna. I went to Massachusetts before I came to Ghana. And when I go there, and I was in China too. The way we do this in this country, sometimes, I mean, our leaders in this country, have they traveled before? I mean, sometimes I ask myself those questions. Once I say, Dr. Miyaka said, Oba, he will create this credit scoring system. America, Obi ni wiasi ha enche omusika. Me drew New York, me $100 bill. People were panicking. In fact, it's only in New York, JFK, and now everyone Washington, other international airports, and now only $100. People are comfortable. But when you move out of the airport vicinity, now $100. People panic because people have not seen the $100 bill before. The man won a $50 bill downwards. Higher cash economy. Or no more scano. He knew how this eto. BBI credit. I heard my colleague reporters on some TV radio station, and they were making fun of the credit scoring system in America, where I've lived before. Sir Benz ba now usikani kotoa. Me on here, once I'm working, I can buy the same Benz. What you say? The difference will be to an intem. Me the end bit better a better, but we all can buy the same Benz because I have a good scoring system.
Okay.
What you say? Until we say this country, we should modernize it based on things other economies have done. And then a person in Ghana, other countries in here. They there's no point in reinventing the wheel. And so we do things in this country. Terrible crowd, and SMBC will come say. So what? You say a regional coordinating council. Papa, we say the plot. No, what's the son not here? I blocked the main road to highways and the regional coordinating council. Say, where can this happen? Say, what's that? Can you block a champ 1972, a champ of Batamali, or Beda Regional Coordinating Council? I was there in class 2 in Sagasaga. 1972. The Regional Coordinating Council is the seat of government. Into Wasasi Wawa. Can you go and block the whole access to Regional Coordinating Council? And so it's happening in this country.
Okay.
Ojas here. Until Nasam now, all NDP Sunni and manifesto is disjointed. I agree with him.
Right.
We will align it. And only your point in any chess. We will realign it with that. And that's our point here.
Sabik Bugri of the
NDP. So that tells you the vision that our flag bearer has.
Okay. A Backman of the Movement for Change will next 5 minutes.
Yes.
The final 5 minutes.
Mapa. So if I had not decided that baby I'm to my bankwa. After listening to me MPP, in Tomato Abeti MPP.
There.
Because in some occasions I tried to abandon one wasn't. Because we said there, do we leaders have they even traveled before? In some quite
na
it's not that's happening.
That
was just by the way.
People
I'm saying I'm talking government.
When you people and me pede hu there.
Uko twampo ano ye dey. Jana no kana so.
On my go no ye
dey. Me pede hu there. Damasema dey kai.
But
your leader was part of it.
Okay. The point. He is not part of it. He is not part of it.
He was part of it.
He is not. We are talking about history. We are talking about today and future.
Why they nku?
Why they ngege? Papa, in terms of development, youth development, nina ekekeni na aboma or ye there papa prepare the youth for the future job market. Na as e pere yin na yin. As ekura misala nchamanten waka won great transformation plan ma oya bibi sronko. Watch ma adwuna gina bibi do yin there. I mean me wie A level, nka no A level. Me wie me national service 1 year and say na me ko university. We are university so me national service. Masala nchamanten se so ba. Ye no babu na wo wie SSA. What na fia? Oba you oba tena fia on ya hwea no. Ansa na wako university no. Oba mo on. There will be 1 year compulsory apprenticeship na internship. There when you want to do ejumam private businesses na azum government institutions no. Na we kwesua biribi 1 year and odesua biribi about ejuma no chere ye prepare one even we school now obetina fie na obey aguzi ball na ina azen obama wo to ejuma no wa kire one internship and apprenticeship one our call technical school na azen nsan ejuma onyo na atum na say mmom say eco university mpo a wo makwana you still go and continue your internship. Ebekaya, one of the problems are you to all today in the ABA University, where I pride of protocol, baby. Obaka chende, any experience. Na sabi, nipa kono 1 year juma do obisi do any experience. Inti Mr. Nchamanten, ni policy ya Obama dama internship and apprenticeship for 1 year no. Oba prepare mo fa no. So eco school so eco technical school o, eco normal university o, wo makwana ebebe fie na akotwe internship no. By the time we year school no, na what experience. Until when you are applying for a job, on your day in your experience, be our bio. Another issue, very important. Mana, obi wa podo tukwan. So, only be able to tukwan. I have good news for you. Mr. Alanchamantense, soba. Also, and I want to read this. Also, undertake a special human resource capacity building program for health and education personnel, particularly for young people, specifically for purposes of meeting the high demand for health and educational professionals in foreign countries under the Ghana Skills Export Program. Ghana Skills Export Program. There will be a programmer specifically and specially, you'll be trained in Babuna or interest to travel outside in the health sector, in education sector, so that you won't crop you or what the Tambiano will outsource this professionals from other countries. Now, they want to know there it is professionally done. There, some Ghana may be nurses and doctors and teachers for Ghana. There, Obi Baba also a teacher now. If it is well organized, then they can contact Ghana, this program, then we can supply them, the nurses and the teachers. And this is good news for those who are interested in working to have international experience. This is another good news. Then, Mapa, there's one thing here, which is also very, very important about sports development. And I want to read. I say, invest in world-class new generation sports facilities in selected competitive sports disciplines, including the establishment of sports academies to build the capacity of the youth in sports and sporting activities, promote community-based and grassroots sports development across the country to identify and groom young talent, provide to revamp school sporting activities across the country. Example, inter-college sports competition. That is interco.
Right.
At the end, Ghana National College school team, Garson school team, Legon school team.
Ghana National College, every year no obey.
Oh, I mean, last batch.
No, I mean, when was it established? Emrofun established Ghana National College. It was 1948. There were routes here in Ghana. 1948, now routes nearby. Routes nearby. Any ye teacher for be at the France school. And at this St. Augustine's. And I come and set that school no up the Mawam. Say, Omonon Kunkusia, boat to Nomina. Now says, or setting up initially for the thing.
I've forgotten the name, but you see, no, look at Western region. That's one interesting thing. No, look at Western region. Into all do St. Augustine's. No, coffee pigeon, you know. No, I'll try to find out what is happening. Also, teachers, the student are about for doing there, about joining riot, you know. Time it been hour back after that time it was deemed there. Roko. No, so what? Into one of phone, you know. Okay, for one of our guys, you know, Okro. There was a man called Kwesi Plange. Kwesi Plange. I think it was a teacher or student or St. Augustine. And so on your share St. Augustine.
And the Dean Ben or the man. Okay, all right. Finally, Chairman.
But the school just was sued.
You cannot keep us in suspense. School, Dean Ben, you're discussing.
And they say,
no, it was Ghana National College from the beginning.
It was
Ghana National College from the beginning.
Obina de Ghana no Emma Ghana for. And as Ghana is independence 1957. Yeah, but the said apartment before 1957. Or T school friend Ghana National College.
1948, yeah.
So no. It is fine that this Ghana no it didn't Ghana by.
I think the first day was Ghana National College.
Oh, okay.
I know some for
youth development or youth empowerment. Very key. Me pa chow so Ghana ni no because you so be my credit score sinu who.
Wow.
Because no. I be close to me credit score na sika semo. E was say we adwuma. Na unye sika na odi bi do credit card so na do card.
Solomonic verdict no.
Obi o problem
Solomonic verdict. Unso baba go mun kuma kwala no. Ba ko so mu da mfa na man. Yes be kan you develop. Na go do obi.
Ye kire yo kwan a wo be create job a sika be be maburu bottom ansa.
Na be credit score no be
mu credit card so.
And them just
credit score obi a wudi hu ni utade a utua na enu so ye the credit card na eye enti e maburu nya adwuma anye what do? You have to empower the youth first.
Obo phone we tell one.
Also obo phone na credit score na tu 2 CD 1 CD. What be that? Adakabre.
Better youth development.
No, I just say yo papa iba ye Dr. Baumi aka kire say obebie bank account Morgan ni dia. Or promising bank account for every Ghanaian.
Will you development in one now?
Yeah. And the people are promising bank account for every Ghanaian bank account. When to me and Biama yen. Now for usu ube my credit score. Credit score no. Yeah, we nim the Diama. It depends on something cash on your credit card.
Okay.
youth empowerment is very
final comment.
John Dramani Mahama say Oba through ICT, 1 million youth powering them through coding system. So they can create their own website and work for other companies. 1 million youth empowerment, very, very key. Professor Nana Jane Opoku, together with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the Women's Bank,
Hey, copy.
Yeah, Papa. who see whatever who the
Traders Bank.
I know business of the Women's Bank. He buy. You better focus on the women. Women, no. Sell 10 million now. Can't sell them to about you know. Majority are women. The women are more. And through the Women's Bank, you know, you be more mubusia full. Now omu di atre omu ejumem because we know when one woman is empowered, about 10 around her will be very successful. Enti yebeba this bana yeba beto no. No, masa umami you know.
Final comment.
Masa umami we.
Final comment.
Aligned to NDPC as the
National Development Commission.
Which is aligned.
These two parties, there always confusion. That is why I say two of you. This is what is ample confusion. That is why I also then you see a government of national unity. As independent president,
the youth will be empowered under His Excellency.
Exercising futility. Ultimate inform government.
Make sure they be on the way this is more abroad into no cousin.
Hey, baby,
be on the way this is added there. With my leader now. Oh, baby, 94 miles on any pa. On this are. If I was on BB now.
None somehow can no court.
Because as someone can say, Constitution is say.
I say it is not too late for Alan to rejoin them.
I did also that be and also one BB and with him abroad.
John Mahama is the obvious choice. Why you be that?
Former speaker, maybe not also
hospitals are you see
win as if he
position.